Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So, Freyna absolutely is probably one of your best options in breach tracking, and she one-shots basically everything. So let's get right on into the setup for her. So starting off with Freyna, let's have a quick look at the maneuvering module. We will be starting off with mid-air maneuvering because I do like to take advantage of my movement. Next up, for Freyna's red module, we will be using Venom Injection, so you can kind of see the direction this build is going to take. Venom Injection is here primarily to give ourselves the big DPS buff on our Toxic, allowing us to absolutely nuke in terms of just regular damage, so this is what we will be going with. Next up, let's focus on cooldown with her. So cooldown is going to be very important to allow you to, take advantage of your abilities. So we will be going with MP conversion, nimble fingers, focus on Toxic, and also focus on tech. So this is going to allow you to have some pretty nice cooldown on your build too. Now, because it's Freyna and you need more than 4 slots for crit, I would not be recommending crit with this specific setup, just because with non-crit you can scale your damage so high that it doesn't matter and you melt everything anyways. So we will be going with the amplification setup here. So we will be going with tech amplification as well as toxic amplification. Now with this as well, because this is a overwhelming shield, a venom injection setup, we are going to need overwhelming shield on here just for the keeping the second ability on. Now, you can go with some health and stuff like that as well, but it comes a little bit later and it's honestly not really that needed. So next up, we are going to slap on MP Collector just for complete MP control and not having to worry about, the way your abilities get used up. So that's going to help us out a lot in here too. Now for our final 2 mods, we are going to be going with Power Increase just for a massive... there you go. We'll be going with Power Increase for a massive increase in our DPS. And then we will also be slapping on 1 range mod for the skill expansion. So there you go, that's going to be more than enough. Now you can slap 1 more mod in over here, which is going to be discussed shortly after the trigger. Now for the trigger mod, it's Freyna. Infected weapon is a non-negotiable. You just want to absolutely do as much DPS as you can with your first, third and fourth ability. So this is what it's going to be with. Next up, with this is where you can either use increased shield with this build. So this is what I would recommend for most people. Now, I'll talk about it a little bit later, but the Ancestor mod will definitely be changing this build. So that's something that we will be talking about just a little bit later. So that's pretty much the Freyna build, at least wrapped up. So now let's have a look at the other parts of this setup. Now, let's have a quick look at the weapons. So for the weapons, it's going to be the Fallen Hope as well as the Shadow. So yeah, next up the Reactor. We will be going with Toxic and Tech, and then I've gone with Cooldown and Toxic. Cooldown and Tech would work quite well, or even Toxic and Tech would work quite well. I do like to have the cooldown on here though. It is a nice little touch and it does go a long way. So yeah, that's what we'll be going with. Next up, let's have a quick look at the external components. So the external components will allow Freyna to do a significant ton more damage, and for this, it's of course going to be the Plague set. Nothing really changes very much with Freyna over here. Now, you'd want max HP and MP recovery out of combat, max MP, MP recovery in combat, MP recovery modifier and defense or electric resistance, and max shield recovery modifier and max shield as well. Specifically shield because it's a venom injection setup, and with the cores you will still want defense across all of your blue ones, and you still want max HP across your cores too. From my understanding, I believe 2 shield cores on here and 2 health cores will scale the absolute best, but because you will be using Plague on other Descendants like Keelan and other stuff like that, it's okay to just leave it with max shield, and I've personally not had any problems with it, so that's what I'm going to recommend for this. Next up, let's have a quick look at the RK tuning tree. Now with the tuning tree, it is a little bit of an odd one with Freyna. Because the mobs genuinely have very, very high resistances, we're going to strip them of their resistances whilst buffing Freyna. So we will be going with this over here, and then we're going to go down and then all the way up here, straight up to Putrid Zone over here, which is going to decrease toxic resistance per stack. and then our trade-off is that we lose movement too. However, losing movement for us is not a problem because we will be flying around with Freyna essentially. So we're gonna go to the other side of the tree as well, and we will also be going up here and going in with defense neutralization. Again, more toxic decrease, and this is also going to allow us to nuke mobs just significantly faster. So this is what we are going to be going with. So this is going to be the arcade tuning tree for Freyna. So let's have a look at the other parts of this build too. So for the Fallen Hub, this is primarily a stat stick. As you can see here, I've gone with a grapple core, a firearm, a toxic, fire rate, sprint core, but I have built this weapon into multi-hit. So this is what I do like to use. You're not losing movement, you decrease movement speed of the targeted mob. Okay, never mind. Skill issue. I'm stupid. Ignore that. So, Fallen Hub. With this, I've just got it on a multi-hit setup. This will just allow you to do some toxic damage with it. Fairly standard setup. This is kind of what you'd just be running in general anyways. For the Shadow, I've gone with a Toxic Shadow as well. Two multi-hit damage cores and one multi-hit chance core. And then on here, I have gone with Legion of Breach specifically on here because this is my Breach Shadow. And as for the mods on the Shadow, this is what I've gone with. Ammo on this sword will never basically be a problem anyways. And this is only here just in case your cooldown on your fourth ability is a little bit slow. But for the most part, it genuinely won't be, so you should be fine. For the inversions, I've gone with skill cost over here just to allow me to, get some more abilities out. Then I will also go with the rolling defense one, which has a chance to recover a little bit of shield, which is going to matter because of course we are using overwhelming shield. And then for the last one, I've gone with shield particle reconfiguration. They don't make a massive difference, but you can go with these inversions if you would like. Next up, let's have a quick look at the Ancestor mod. For the Ancestor mod with Freyna, this is where it would kick in. I would drop increased shield in favor of the Ancestor mod, and I would slot an Ancestor in there. So what I would recommend for an Ancestor mod is something of the following. You are definitely going to want Tech on there, which will scale Freyna's damage. Toxic is also very good as well. With this, if you want survivability, you can get max shield on here. But Toxic and Tech is going to be your main catalyst for your damage, and a harmless negative like negative defense would be good as well. Negative health doesn't matter, and in a Venom injection build, negative HP is a perfectly good negative. It will bring your overall health down by a bit, but you build into shield, so you can technically counter it. It's not harmless, but it's not the worst in general. Negative range, stuff like that, you know how it is. I'm sure you can just, figure out what the negative could be or what it should and shouldn't be. If you do need help though, my Ancestor mod sheet will be linked in the description. And yeah, you can see here I've got defense as a third stat on here. So this is kind of what I rock with on Freyna. So that pretty much sums up the Ancestor mod segment of this video. So let's have a quick look at some gameplay for Freyna as well. In breach tracking, at least, in solo, she has absolutely zero problems. In duo as well, no problems. Have I ran this in trios? Nope, but I have run this in squads, and squads wasn't a problem too. With Freyna, you mostly just stay out of the way, is the best way to describe it, I would say. Or, yeah, that's the best way I'd describe it. So with this, you'll see I activate Venom Injection off the bat. Wait, is this the bad run? I think this is the bad run. No, this is the bad run. This is, in fact, the bad run. 1 second. Oops. Testing. Bad streamer, basically. No, this is Buddy. I'm tweaking. Where's my gameplay gone? Am I blind? Streamer is blind. Sorry, guys. Okay. This should be the gameplay. Okay, streamer is blind. Okay, now we actually get to the gameplay here. So, yeah, with this, you can just see with Freyna, this is kind of what you'd be going with. Just activate Venom Injection, then you just throw your first ability down, throw your third ability down, and this is where I just like to completely just get ignored by the mobs and just fly around, grapple around, and basically ignore everything. If you are playing in squads, again, a Freyna will do 2-3 ticks of damage, and it'll be enough to just melt them apart. But you can see here in general how fast the mobs are dying. it does work out fairly well. And then you just use your fourth ability for any of the mini bosses, and you can also use the shadow for elites if you really want to, but even elites get melted over here. Double strip with Freyna works to be the most effective in my opinion because of how much toxic resistance you can strip away and the DPS you can conjure up out of your ass. So this is what I would go with Freyna. You can see here in general I am actually using the fourth ability here in this phase just to melt, and my aim is absolutely horrible, so please don't at me. Yeah, average Freyna gameplay, or very bad Freyna gameplay to be honest with you. But you can see here in general the elites are taking a good chunk of damage as well from the passive toxic, and then I am using the fallen hope for it. I should have been using the shadow, but actual skill issue, and I just wanted to be a cool guy and just, you know, gun, so happens to the best of us. Yeah, so you can see with this as well, from phase to phase Freyna is just incredibly fast, two tapping like basically everything and just melting it. I was gonna say also massive shout out to 7TV again, because bro helped me. I just constantly kept feeling like I was missing something with this build, and he helped me out and told me what I was missing. It was the tree. The tree makes a very big difference, so you guys definitely want to make sure you get the right tree. But you can just see in general, as far as Freyna goes, she is very chill inside of Breach. She doesn't really struggle with anything. She's one of the most laid back Descendants, and I'd say in general what you can do is consistently get, what is it, sub 4-minute runs with Freyna, like very consistently. Even with Freyna, I'd say like even sub 3-minute runs are possible. I have seen a sub 3-minute run with Freyna before, but it's heavy tile set fishing, and we're just talking about the general experience over here, so we're not going to go too crazy into all of that. So yeah, Freyna is easy, sub 4-minute runs consistently, and you know, if you want to turn your brain off and still do crazy DPS, get the testosterone across from all of the numbers on your screen, Freyna is definitely a really good go-to option. And even in general here, you can see just, you know, the elites are getting melted too. Everything's getting melted, 5 out of 6, 6 out of 6, done. On to the next phase we go. I'm a noob and I can do Breach in 5 minutes. There you go, it works. But just in general, I do think Freyna is probably one of the best options, and if you haven't, if you're not convinced enough yet, this should be convincing you to basically invest in her. Freyna is like one of the best Descendants just overall for everything in this game currently. So Freyna is like a must invest, I would say. So yeah, we're almost done now because streamer is good at throwing, and yeah, I'm running out of things to say. Can we hurry this up, please? Yeah, I actually suck at this game. Okay, final boss fight now. Final boss here, I pulled the fourth ability out. I just, you know, melt him. Give him a second, let him respawn, and then melt him again. Freyna, top tier option, and with Venom Injection in this setup, you won't be having any problems either. If you think health is a problem, just run this without an Ancestor mod or get increased shield. And in this run, I got a 3-minute 43-second run, so definitely not the fastest, but definitely not the slowest run either. Solid run with Freyna. But that's pretty much everything in this video, guys, and I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button, and if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. I make plenty of videos on the first Descendant, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!